This is Maureen Kafkas here with the Brain BS update and wishes for a very, very happy Thanksgiving. So I have a little list over here because I want to make sure I touch on some things because we're coming into a holiday season where I'm going to be taking a little bit of time off. I'll still be producing a podcast episode, but everything's going to change with the podcast because I'm changing and that's kind of how it works. So it's all good stuff and I'm going to tell you about it. So first I want to start with gratitude though, because I have so many things that I'm grateful for this year. It's my cup runneth over and I feel very blessed and I have so many things available to me and so much excitement and passion about what I'm doing. But I just want to offer you that I've never, not since I got married, when I was younger, I had to worry about finances and it was one of the biggest stressors I've ever had. But since I've been married, I have not had to worry about money. And even though I was always grateful that my needs were taken care of, it's nothing like the gratitude I have now because it's not what you have. It's the feeling inside you that makes you feel gratitude. It's the way you're thinking. It's sufficiency. It's feeling enough. And when you grow up, and most of us do actually, with the idea that nothing's ever enough and we're not enough and we need to be doing something or we need to hustle or we need to do something different or achieve something to be worthy enough to really feel grateful. It's a big deal when you get to a place of sufficiency, and that's where I'm at this year. So I'm very grateful for that, and I'm very grateful for all the things I have too, all this stuff. I'm not discounting that. I love it. I have a lot of fun with it. I enjoy our homes. I like my sports car. Love all that, but none of it matters to me if I don't have peace of mind and joy and gratitude in my day-to-day life. Now, again, I will offer you, it's different if you can't even put food on your table, so I'm not talking about that. That's survival mode, and when we're in survival mode, it's really hard to feel gratitude. So I feel for anybody who's in that position, I still urge you to try to find what is going well in your life, what is working, and maybe just like, well, that's a different podcast episode. That's like a problem when I'd like to solve people not getting food. I just think it's crazy in this day and age that we can't all make sure that we have food on the table. And if we all work together, we could do that. So, okay, but let me move on because that's not what this podcast is about. When you are thinking about what you want in your life and you want to try something different, but you're afraid to do it, that's what I experienced when I decided to become an entrepreneur. And I listened to all these other people about what I was supposed to do, what I was actually supposed to care about, what was supposed to be a priority to me, was passed on to me by other people who don't really even know who I am and don't understand the way I'm wired. They don't understand my human design type. And I just listened to all of them. Well, it caused me a lot of suffering, a lot of fear and doubt, a lot of beating the crap out of myself over the last year and a half. And I don't want that to be the case for all of you. I want to show you on this podcast, and this is the focus of the podcast moving forward, I want to show you how to build a belief in yourself and to create a nervous system for success. Now, whatever that success is, you get to decide. It could be financial, it could be love, it could be losing weight, it could be stopping smoking, it could be stopping drinking. Whatever it is that you think that you want to do for yourself and how it's going to look when you achieve it, that's how I define success. So it could even be that you are just going to start taking care of yourself and setting boundaries and having your own back in your family, which might not sound like that big of a deal, but it's actually the biggest deal of all. Because when you start doing that, that's when you start doing the other things. That's when you start trying to achieve goals and you have a little bit more interest in other things and you are a little bit more inspired to step it up a notch and not just settle for your life. So I am creating a course that's going to help you do that too. And that's coming in 2023. I think I'm going to call it Master Your BS for Success. I'm not sure that's open to change. But I'm going to be incorporating the most valuable lessons I've learned into a clear, concise, efficient, and practical way for you to implement what I teach into your daily life. This course will save you time, money, energy, and lots of needless suffering. It is also unlike anything you've seen before, and I know it works because it is my path and I took it to get where I am today. And I've never felt so successful in my life, and I haven't even tried to make money yet since I pivoted in my business. So I want you to know what it feels like for me to have success and what I want to give to you in this course. I'm calm, I'm confident, I am driven, I'm passionate, I'm creative, I'm inspired, I'm abundant with love, and my relationships are the best that they've ever been. I love myself and I have my own back. I honor the principles of living consciously and make it a priority in my life. I'm actually living my human design and not just reading about it. I know how to manage my mind and do thought work in a way that really works for me. I understand universal laws and the principles that apply to how I make the decisions in my daily life. So if any of this is of interest to you, stay tuned because that's what the podcast is going to be talking about, and that's what the course is going to be. So up until this point, I've had a lot of coaches on here lately. I think since January, I don't know, I make up timelines now because I'm 59. You can look at it when you look at the titles of the podcast, and you could read the descriptions. So if you're interested in getting coaching, you could always go back and look at those episodes. And then periodically, I will be having coaches still come on the podcast. And then you can listen to what they offer there and get to know them. It's a great way to understand them better and what they offer before you spend money on them. Because that's what I did. I spent money on a lot of coaching, especially business coaching, that didn't serve me. And I didn't make any money back. Well, I won't say it didn't serve me because it got me to this point where I can actually help people achieve what I've achieved without having to hire a business coach, without having to hire any coach, actually. I mean, I recommend that you do, but the purpose and the brand that I'm creating now is even if you don't ever hire a one-on-one coach, which again, I highly recommend, but that's not me. I highly recommend it because it served me in so many ways and was really helpful. But it was the personal coaches that really helped me. I am just now working with the business process coach, and I know she's going to help me, and she already has. But we need to be smarter about how we do things. We need to look inward for the answers. We need to understand that somebody else doesn't know better than us what we should do in our business, even if they've been doing business for 50 years. So that's where human design comes in. Knowing your strategy, your authority, and your profile lines and how to navigate life is huge. And when you combine that with the thought work in Eckhart Tolle and what he teaches us, and that we're the observer, and Brooke Castillo with the model, oh my gosh, like the combination with those two, which is what's really unique about my course, is it combines those two. And then I also add universal law in what I'm learning about relationships. I'm working with a master certified coach right now, and I've been focusing on Richard Rudd and the Gene Keys on the relationships. So it's pretty much been my primary focus this past year. And I never realized how much relationships are central to anything that we want to achieve in life. And the truth is, there's nothing more important than our relationships, whether you believe that or not. Trust me on this one, and you'll find it out if you do this work with me. And I hope you will. I hope that you will really consider it. The course isn't ready yet. It's not going to be ready for a little while. I'm in the process of creating it. I'm taking my time. I'm being methodical about what I'm going to include in there and what I'm not going to. I am going to provide support. I'm going to start a Facebook group that goes with the course so that you can go in there and you can ask me any questions as you go along in the course. It's going to be self-paced. It's going to be inexpensive. And when I say inexpensive, I mean $97. Okay? $97 to build the foundation for success and a nervous system to support it. You're not going to find that anywhere else. And what I'm showing you is going to work for all of you if you actually do what I tell you to do. If you actually really invest in this, and I mean put on your tunnel vision and stop being distracted by all these other courses and all these other shiny objects, if you actually dive into this and you take advantage of asking me questions as you go in the Facebook group, you're going to be a different person at the end of this. And I'm going to save you so much time, energy, and money because you're not going to have to do what I did, which took me a couple years to figure out, and it's about $20,000 less in my pocket. So that's what I've been up to. I'm really grateful. I'm looking forward to Thanksgiving. I'm going to have an enjoyable holiday. I have a lot more rest and play in my life now. I'm not doing the grind. I'm not busting my ass. Anywhere that I can cut back, I'm doing that because that's consistent with my design. I am excited to also incorporate into my course the principles of universal law because they're huge and they do apply to our day-to-day life all day long. How to make decisions, how to feel your feelings is a really important part of creating a nervous system for success. You can't just keep resisting things and numbing and buffering with alcohol and shopping and Netflix. We have to actually address some of these feelings and process them and let them go. And I can tell you, as somebody who still watches Netflix almost every night with my husband, we watch Suits, and who likes to drink wine pretty much every weekend and occasionally outside the weekend, that you don't have to be perfect with your numbing and buffering. You don't have to be perfect with feeling your emotions. You don't have to be perfect with your thought work either. You know how I know if something's working? I know by the way I feel in my body. And I'm telling you, at the age of 59, I have never felt the way I do right now. It's amazing. And I spent so much money getting to this place, and I'm going to give it to you for $97. And I'm super excited about that because I love that it's not expensive, because all my business coaches told me I had to charge more money, offer less, do less. And it never, ever set well with me because in my human design, I'm a cross of service. So I'm here to serve. When you're successful, I'm successful. That's the only way it works. And I'm not doing this so that I can be successful. Yes, that's a byproduct, but really it just fills my heart and it gives me so much joy. It makes me feel so good to help a fellow human being feel better and hopeful and to love themselves again. And to want more and to have a future focus and to stop comparing and despairing with their neighbor and thinking that everybody else has it figured out, but they don't. It's just bullshit. It's brain BS. It's not real. It's not true. It's all in your head. And this course is going to help you clean up that brain. It's going to help you master your brain BS. And then it's going to get your body all ready to support your success. Your nervous system has to be able to support it. That happened to me too. I kind of ran out of the gates and I was doing pretty good and I freaked out. I freaked out the first time somebody got mad at me, the first time somebody accused me of being greedy, the first time I got negative feedback from someone or they didn't show up for a session and I held them accountable. All these things are the same reasons why you don't say no to your family members, or why you don't ask for that promotion at work, because you're afraid of the way it's going to feel. I've experienced this myself in the past. But once you get this all dialed in and you figure out who you are, I just can't even explain it in words. You'll know it when you feel it. And when you feel it, you then are going to want to do this for other people too. So I'm all about collaboration and helping other people. We are all in this together, whether you realize it or not. Yes, even you Republicans and Democrats, pro-abortion, pro-life, we're all the same. It's our minds have different ideas, and that's okay, because that's part of the human experience. But at the end of the day, we're all souls living in a human body, and we have to treat each other like that. And the only way that we can treat other people like that is if we treat ourselves with reverence first. So I hope you have a happy holiday. I hope you know that if you're by yourself on the holiday, that doesn't make you any less worthy than the people who are surrounded by a huge family like the one I have. Because somebody could be in a huge family surrounded by all those people who love them and still feel disconnected by them or from them. Because the only way we feel loneliness or disconnected is because of the way we're thinking. It has nothing to do with what's going on around us. So I want to offer you that for anybody who really struggles with the holidays and is sad to be by themselves, that you can do this. And you are loved and you are part of the community. You're part of the collective, and you are not as alone as you think you are. And if you can start playing with that thought and really questioning if it's actually true that you're by yourself and disconnected from everybody, you're going to start to see that you can challenge that. And then you're going to take little actions, and before you know it, you're going to be connected to people again. And if you are having a crisis this year, we have a crisis in our family that is really challenging, and it is, consuming. It's consuming sometimes at the holidays. It was at the holidays that my dad died, I believe 6 years ago now it is, 5 or 6 years. I was at the pharmacy today and I started crying when I saw an old man at the counter getting his medicine, because it just made me think of him. We can still have all those feelings, and we can grieve, and we can be sad, and we can be devastated even, and still try to stay connected to the love that we have present in our lives. Even if you're alone and it's just the love that you have for yourself. Whatever we can do to connect to the people around us or stay tapped into our higher self can keep us in that feeling of trust that everything's happening for us and not to us, even when it feels awful. And sometimes it really, really does feel awful. So I give everyone permission to be sad this holiday season, if that's what you need to do, to be mad, but I hope that you might want to question that one and see what you can do to work on it. I hope that everyone is looking forward to next year and not focusing on all the holidays in the past over and over in a negative way. I've been very nostalgic today because I love the holidays, even though I hated a lot of them in the moment. I still love them. I love those memories that I have with my family growing up, and just we had so much fun, and oh my goodness, so much singing and a little drinking, if I'm totally honest. But anyway, hope you have a happy holiday. I'm looking forward to 2023, looking forward to changing up the podcast a little bit, more solo episodes, less coaches on the podcast, and I'm looking for more people to come on who are inspired to share their story of success with other people so that they can be a role model and get other people doing some things maybe that they wouldn't do otherwise. So I hope you found this update helpful. I hope you have a wonderful holiday season. I am grateful to all of you for following me and listening to my podcast. And I am looking forward to 2023 and spending it with you. I also just want to add that the reason why I didn't put this in a regular format for the podcast is because in my overzealousness to clean up my computer and get things organized, I completely deleted all the prior podcast episodes out of GarageBand. So I have to start all over. And I am purposely taking time off this week to take care of myself. So I will be working on that. And when I come back to do the next podcast that's not pre-recorded, it will all be a little bit different. Happy holidays, guys.